You know, in today's world, things are changing so fast. The old way of managing, just telling people what to do, it just doesn't work anymore. Honestly, the single most important skill you can have as a leader right now is knowing how to coach. So in this explainer, we're going to dive into a real playbook for turning your team's hidden potential into your company's biggest win.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever been in that spot where you're looking at a team member? You see they have massive potential, but you're just stuck on how to bring it out. Should you jump in with some direct, in-the-moment feedback? Or is this a time for a bigger picture career chat? Yeah, knowing when to coach versus when to mentor, it can get tricky, even for the most seasoned managers out there.
Okay, now let's zoom out. Think bigger than just those one-on-one chats. How do you build an entire culture where your team feels safe enough to take risks, to innovate, but also totally driven to perform at their best? A place that doesn't just survive change, but actually thrives on it. That's the real game, isn't it?
And here's the big aha moment. When everything is in flux, the best tool you have for making new habits stick isn't another email or a new company policy, it's coaching. It becomes the engine that drives your team forward and really transforms the culture from the ground up.
So what's the solution? Well, it's not about wishful thinking. It's about having a concrete plan, a real playbook. We're talking about a framework that takes the art of leadership and turns it into a science that gets you measurable results for you, your team, and the whole company. This right here, this quote says it all. It's about a fundamental shift in your mindset. You stop being a manager who just assigns work, and you become a leader who develops people. Your main job becomes unlocking the amazing talent that's already sitting right there in your team.
And to really make that happen, any great coaching program has to hit 4 key targets. First, it's about making you confident enough to coach effectively. Second, it's about making the most of every single resource you have. Third, you need a proven method to really unleash your team's full power. And finally, it's about building a system so you always have a strong bench of future leaders ready to go.
Okay, so what does this all look like in the real world? Let's walk through the journey of how you become the kind of coach and mentor your team is really crying out for.
And look, there's a clear logic to how this is structured. You start day one by building a strong foundation, getting the mindset right. Then in the afternoon, you get the tools, the models you'll actually use. Day two is all about getting your hands dirty, putting it all into practice so these skills become second nature.
Now, this is so important. A critical first step is realizing that great leadership isn't one size fits all. You have to be culturally aware. For example, understanding the nuances of the Asian mindset, things like hierarchy and how feedback is given and received, is absolutely vital for success there. The whole idea is to find what works for you and then learn how to adapt it for the biggest impact.
All right, let's clear up that fuzzy area between coaching and mentoring once and for all. Think of it like this. Coaching is like helping an athlete win this specific game. It's about performance right now. Mentoring? That's about helping that same athlete build an amazing career over the long haul. You need both, but they're definitely not the same thing.
Okay, now we're getting to the heart of the playbook. This is a simple, 4-step framework that is so powerful. You can use it to structure pretty much any conversation to make sure it actually leads somewhere productive.
It's called the GROW model, and you're gonna love it because it is so incredibly simple. It's designed to do just one thing: give your conversations a clear structure so you always get to a real, tangible outcome. It's basically the cure for those frustrating chats that just go around in circles. Let me show you how it works. Say the goal is to get better at presentations. The reality is your team member gets nervous and talks way too fast. For options, they could, join a public speaking group, practice with a friend, maybe get a coach. And finally, the will. This is the commitment. Okay, I'm gonna sign up for that group by Friday and I'll practice my next big presentation with you. See? Simple, structured, and it actually works.
But look, just knowing the framework isn't enough, right? You have to practice it. And that's exactly what day 2 is all about. This is where the theory gets real. You'll be doing hands-on role-playing, working through actual case studies until using the GRO model feels totally natural.
So after all this, what's the real payoff? I mean, what's in it for you? What's the return on this investment for you and for your company? Let's talk about that.
It's really like a domino effect. It starts with you being able to spot the right moment to coach and knowing how to do it well. That empowers your team. An empowered team creates a high-performance culture. And notice that it's all built on a foundation of ethics. That's what builds trust. And without trust, coaching just doesn't work. And that's what ultimately drives real business results. And this is the bottom line.
This is what it all leads to. When you become an effective coach, your team becomes more capable, more independent. They don't just work harder, they work smarter. And that translates directly into real, measurable increases in productivity and, yes, profitability.
So if there's one thing to take away, it's this. You're not just signing up for a 2-day course. You're making a strategic investment in the very DNA of your organization's culture. And that is an investment that will pay off for years and years to come.
The world of work is changing faster than ever, especially with AI shaking everything up. The leaders who are going to win are the ones who can unlock the absolute best in their people. So the only question left is, are you ready to be one of them?